it was the Eldlich duel that I think just signifies what Eldlich is very well. I don't think it covers all the points, but I think it covers a lot of them, right? And it was in the World Tournament. So, uh, here for this hand, we had Dark Bribe, which I used to negate like very key spells and traps. And yes, it does give your opponent a card in return, but I think that that's fine if you get to negate a powerful or key spell or trap, especially if you negate like a one of and they can't get it back easily. That's not the best feeling. Lose one turn. Oh, and the more you duel against every deck out there, and the more you duel with every deck out there by playing story mode, which is what story mode is for, then you get to learn what cards are the key pieces for these decks, and you get to learn what cards are the ones that you should be looking out for when you're doing against those decks. And then you can look for combos that you can look out for because I played with that deck at least once in the, story mode just so I could beat it. And even though I didn't like that deck, I found out this, and that about it, and now it's easier for me to duel against that archetype because I've dueled as that archetype. Me personally, I've been playing since the game first came out, and by the game I mean Yu-Gi-Oh, not Yu-Gi-Oh Master Duel. I'm 31. Been playing since 25, 26 years ago. I'm just like, hey, yo, lose one turn and power sink stone. These are just an excellent combination. It's like essentially having a skill drain on the field that's only activated after certain conditions have been met, and that's what makes it so freaking cool. So lose one turn makes it so that every time a monster is special summoned, it automatically loses its effect and also gets placed in defense position. And that's for the first turn that it's special summoned. After that, it gains its effects and everything. It can attack and all that. Now, what's very beautiful about lose one turn that I realized that makes it so special, in my opinion, is that not only does it make it so that your opponent can't use the effect that they wanted to use for that special summoned monster the turn that they special summoned it, because chances are they need to be effect right then, they also are blocked from using any effect that says anything along the lines of if this card or when this card is special summoned. All of that goes out the window with lose one turn, making it an extremely potent and powerful and restrictive continuous trap card. Very powerful floodgate. Then you have Power Sink Stone, which is extremely awesome because it's like having a tomb that perpetually has its doors just slightly ajar, just open enough for one or two people to get by. And then after that, it's going to close. And then it's going to open again. And I'm just like, dude, it's so cool. You get to use two effects per turn, and then after those two monster effects have been used by either player, and yes, you can force this during your opponent's turn by just using your own effects during your opponent's turn, your own monster effects. So, when you do this, what you end up doing is you end up creating this sense of there's only two monster effects you can use. And then after that, skill drain gets activated. It's like a timer. So then every move you make has to be calculated because you're like, okay, do I have enough moves to do this? No, I don't. And then, of course, I had Solemn Judgment. Now, an important thing about Solemn Judgment that I've heard some people mention before in discussion about Yu-Gi-Oh! Is that they did not know that Solemn Judgment could be used to destroy multiple monsters at one time, which is something that, ends up happening, and I'm just like, oh, yeah, yeah, that can happen, bro. That's the power of Solemn Judgment. That's why it's an ultra rare. That's why it's limited to two, because it can do that. Could you imagine having three of these? 50 life points left. 25 now. So, this duel is very interesting. Um, Here we go. So I immediately went into my Power Sink Stone and my lose one turn, which is my like, skill drain without being skill drain. I wish both those effects were on one card, but we can't have the world and either too. I mean, there are the rich and wealthy, but you know, I'm not either of those. In money. So as you can see, just already these two cards are causing problems for my opponent. Now this was very beautiful how I did this. It was like 1,000 points per monster basically. So please don't forget that you can do this with Solemn Judgment. It's a very powerful effect. Um, Now after that 2200, would you believe me if I told you I just didn't lose any more life points for the rest of this duel? I don't think. I think I kept most of my life points the rest of the duel. Oh no! So I special summoned my Eldlich, which is, I could have special summoned him before, but the trick with that specific thing, right? The trick was for me to wait until my opponent is trying to attack to activate this. Because yes, I could have summoned him before the battle phase to just ensure that, hey, he can't stop me from summoning it during the battle phase. But then that gives my opponent a chance to get rid of it before the battle phase. And it changes their strategy because now there's a new factor in the mix of their plan, you know. So it's important that you pay attention to that if you want it to be a trap, act like it's a trap. Wait until your opponent is literally attacking to be like, oh yeah, by the way. That way it's like, oh crap, you know. And these two, I believe, were live the entire duel, just being a menace. Like this is the problem with like not having easily accessible destruction. Because me personally, with an Eldritch deck, I always run at least one copy of Unchained Abomination. Because with Unchained Abomination, I can destroy up to 3 cards per turn. Once if a card is destroyed by card effect, once if a card is destroyed by battle, and once at the end of each end phase. Algo Misera is perfect for countering from the hand or graveyard if your opponent forgets that it's in the graveyard. And it's excellent for getting a monster on the field so you can go into a link play. One tactic I use with Algo Misera very often is I will attack with a weak monster just to get that second body on the field to go into something like a Vendread Savior, and then send another zombie that I need from my deck to the graveyard. And what's beautiful about a Vendread Savior is that even though its effect can get negated, sending the zombie monster from the deck to the graveyard is a cost and not the effect. And what's beautiful about this is that he spent 4,000 life points, and that was that powerful effect I was waiting for Deck Bribe. So he wasted that 4,000 life points, it was great. How many times did he summon that thing? I mean, he's definitely trying, though. So that second zombie world, it meant that I could use that first one to get rid of it, because I don't need zombie world for this deck, it just helps out. It just helps with the control factor. Because with zombie world, it negates every effect that says anything along the lines of uh, beast or warrior or dragon. Any effect that lists a type like that is negated basically by zombie world. So it's just about control. So I sent Eldlich and got rid of that. And then I took control of that with Devouring Sarcophagus. And what's cool about Devouring Sarcophagus is that it can still be used in the graveyard right now. So if he destroys another monster, I can still fucking use it. That's beautiful. Oh man. Here we go, Untamed Abomination, boy. And I'm gaining life points. This card is so powerful on this deck because it will keep you so far ahead. And then with this, you can just it's just too much for most people. But you had a great match, my friend. You had a very powerful duel, very great duel. Very strong deck. Definitely would like to duel you again sometime. Um, yeah. When I yeah. Good job, bro.